I'm going to be semi-graphic here. Everything about this match makes my nipples hard. So
get a little bit of basic batch on that one.
Less kayfabe.
MJF is going to win this thing.
More chaos.
Tony, I'm sorry that I thought that.
All elite. This is the Elite Heat Podcast. The Elite Heat Podcast with Tim and Doug.
Well, boy, I need a cigarette after that one. That was a banger of a Dynamite tonight, live from Las Vegas.
Yeah, man.
I have the vapors. Whew. That was.
You know what I have? Doich.
You got more?
I have been saving the basic badge since last week, just for this occasion. For this occasion, because, man, I'm telling you, I've loved every flavor, but there's something about their basic badge that I'm super into. I really, really dig it.
Your willpower is significantly better than mine and significantly better than anybody in this house because it lasted, I'm generously saying 48 hours. I'm not sure it was even that long.
Dude, it took a lot for me to wait until today. It's been one whole week. And I only have half of this left, so I waited just for tonight, just to make sure I had a little bit left. That's all. Oh,
yeah, we definitely. I just see his tail come up slowly. It's like a kraken tentacle, but anyway.
Exactly. Hi, Anastasia. No, don't get into it. This is not cat food.
It could be.
This is daddy food.
Okay, but to be fair, it's free of most of like the major allergens, right? Mm-hmm. It's gluten free. It's all that stuff. So your cat might be able to eat it, although maybe. I don't blame you for not wanting to share. But anyway,
I haven't. Anyway, I legitimately haven't seen this cat all night long till we start.
And
recording.
Now, yeah, well, that's how it goes. While you deal with the cat,
yeah.
Let me reiterate: 5 containers gone in. I'm generously saying 48 hours in this house. That's how good Doich Foods cookie dough is. Go get it. DoichFoods.com. Use code Elite Heat when you check out. Yep. You'll save 20% and you will enjoy this cookie dough. It's real good. I got to order more. I was actually just thinking that tonight. I was like, you know what would have been really nice? It would have been great to be snacking on the fudge, the WTF fudge, or the birthday cake while I was enjoying this banger of a Dynamite tonight.
Yeah, man.
Would have married together perfectly, but I have not reordered because, well, mostly because I'm lazy.
And the good thing is, like I said, do what we did. Get the variety pack. You can get all 5 flavors, so you can find your favorite because you're gonna have a favorite.
Yes, you are.
And then you can then you can just go nuts. You can keep getting the variety pack, or you can just get a bunch of the one you like, or the 2 you like, or the 3 you like, or whatever you want to do. That's what I love about it. So go get some.
I agree. And I'm going to bet they're going to have more flavors down the road. So,
almost guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah. Get on board now. You can say you were part of Doich Foods before they blew up. So go to Doich Foods, DOICH, DoichFoods.com. Use code Elite Heat when you check out Elite Heat, one word, and that promo code. 20% off, always a good thing. All right.
Always.
Speaking of good things, like I said, this is a banger of a Dynamite tonight, in my humble opinion.
Pretty solid.
Yeah, that's 2 in a row because Grand Slam was really good. You know, we were talking about that being like pay-per-view caliber-ish, except not 12 hours long, although they tried. And then tonight was really, really good. And I think tonight did a lot to help with the build to All In. I think they did a lot of building the lesser.
Yes.
I hate to say lesser, but, lesser storylines that aren't the world title, tag team, et cetera, I thought they did a really nice job with that.
Yeah, the B storylines, which are important. Like, because again, I've said it before, if you don't have a solid amount and a solid quality,
if you're not watching on YouTube, just watch this beginning part. We're at Elite Heat Pod on YouTube, just for the cat tail.
Yeah, you see my cat Anastasia's butthole probably. So that's fun because
I didn't see hole. But there's just all of a sudden tail. Yeah, all of a sudden tail just goes whack into your camera. So anyway.
And again, she hasn't paid attention to me all night long till right now. But yeah, if you have quality and enough of those B level storylines, it does so much more to elevate the rest of your A storylines and even those C storylines. It's really, really important. I think they did a great job tonight. Great job.
I agree. So with that, let's launch into the heat check. Mine is super easy.
Okay.
Because I'm going to do the cliche thing and say, I'm only going to list what I thought was mid and what I didn't like, because there's one mid and one didn't like. Everything else I liked.
Okay.
So it's way easier for me to just do those two things.
Okay. All right,
so
fair.
My mid, the Death Riders promo fell into that for me. Not because I thought it was bad. I didn't necessarily think it was bad. We'll talk more about it when we run this show down. It just wasn't my favorite one that they've done lately, so I put it in the mid.
Right.
And then I didn't like, and it's not because it was necessarily bad. I wouldn't say this was bad. I didn't like Kris Statlander versus Already in the Ring, because you know how I feel about these matches as a concept, how I feel about them in general. So it's nothing against these two specific people. I just don't like it as a concept. So
yes, I get it.
Yeah.
I have, and this is going to sound like I'm being super critical, but I think it's because the stuff I really like, and the stuff that's in my mid is I still like it, but it didn't hit that really like category. And I have a couple things in my nope category.
Okay.
So for basically my meh, which is I kind of like, but not enough to super like, the Divine Dominion promo. I like the fact that it at least progresses the story.
Mm-hmm.
But it didn't. Again, we just see them in a promo thing, so it kind of came off as a meh to me. Oddly, the Mick Foley interview with Bang Bang Gang.
Interesting.
I'll get more into it later.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought the Jericho Kevin Knight TNT title match was fine. I was okay with the Statlander interview, but I'll just jump ahead to the nope. I thought the placement of the squash match that she had was not good. And I don't think it helped that match at all. And I don't think we needed the squash match at all.
We did not. Yeah, I agree. We did not.
I thought the women's tag match, what it set up, feels a little rushed, a little forced, a little awkward. But I'm at least happy that they're doing something there. But it just
I have a theory. I have a theory on that we'll talk about. Yeah.
Okay. Weirdly, I just felt the Darby promo was fine.
Yeah, that one actually came really close to my mid. It was fine. I think the biggest reason I didn't put it there is because it at least advanced the storyline.
Yep, and that's exactly what I wrote. Nothing super dramatic.
Yeah.
Nothing super crazy. It at least had story elements. So
yeah.
But that's why it was in the
it's
fine.
Let me be clear. I liked a lot of stuff on this, but it's a scale, right?
Yes.
Like there's the stuff that I really super duper liked, and then there's the stuff that I went, well, that was fine. So, and I guess I'm feeling generous tonight, and I went, all right, that's fine. I'll put it in the like.
And I happen to be putting those that I like just in the meh category because I really liked a lot of things.
Yeah,
and I just liked these. And then the last thing, the Continental title situation. Don't know how I feel about the situation of the title because I think this was new information tonight, and I could be wrong.
Okay.
But I'm a little confused. I don't completely understand it, but whatever. And then the only nopes I had was, like I said, the placement of the Statlander squash match and the fact that it was a squash match. Didn't need it. And I thought Mick Foley interviewing Statlander afterwards and transitioning to the tag match, I thought that whole, I thought Statlander's part was fine. I thought Mick was super awkward. It just didn't feel right to me. So,
okay.
That's my nopes. And even that I didn't hate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I totally understand what you're saying. Like, didn't hate it, but in the context of a very, very good show, some of those are a little awkward. I totally get that. Absolutely. Yep. All right. Well, let's talk about it then. So let's start, as the show did, with the Ospreay opening promo that I loved.
Yeah. So good.
Loved it. Yeah, I thought Ospreay was really, really good here. Really good here. I loved him firing the shot at Kenny for staying home and not going to Mexico.
So good.
Look, Don Callis is always good. As always with Don, MJF falls under this as well. Until we say we didn't like it, we liked it. You know?
Absolutely.
But I did particularly, I wanted to highlight, I really liked him reminding everybody, here's my history with both of these guys. Because you do, at least I do, I kind of forget that Ospreay was technically part of the Don Callis family there for a minute. So
yeah, and a big part of it for a hot minute.
Yeah, so I thought that was very good. I loved Kenny here.
Yep.
I love everything about what they're doing with him right now.
Kenny looks so good right now. It's a neat mix of original AEW Kenny and cleaner Kenny. And I'm really liking that kind of tightrope he's walking of edgy and yet still Kenny. So I'm really digging what he's doing here. And their interaction tonight, their interactions have just been getting better and better every week. We see them together in the ring when they're just yapping at each other. I thought that was really solid tonight.
I agree. It was tremendous. I think this storyline is great. I think the way they're doing it is brilliant. What Kenny's doing is incredible. Like, I love it. I love everything about it. 18 days between now and All In, 17 when this episode comes out. And I got to tell you, I'd like to hit fast forward on those 17 days just to get to this match.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be semi-graphic here. Everything about this match makes my nipples hard. So
I need to get a little bit of basic batch on that one.
I say, Ed, you're welcome. You are welcome for that.
The two things I really, really enjoyed were Don Callis, like you said, Don Callis reminding everybody of his involvement. But I liked Kenny going back and telling Will, I warned you. I warned you about Don Callis. I warned you about the Death Riders. And I warned you about MJF. And look at you.
Yep.
I'm done reminding you. I'm done warning you. This is the last time I'm saving you. You're on your own.
Yes.
I love that about that.
It was great. Absolutely great. Okay. Let me see if I can sum this up in one sentence what your concern with the Continental Cup is. Is the Continental Cup needlessly complicated?
That's it.
Okay.
That's the one. That's the thing.
Yeah, when they put the graphic up as they explain it, and it's like, okay, so these guys won, so now they go into a blind draw. So it's 16 guys, 8 matches, it's a blind draw, and the 8 winners go to a 4. They're going to compete in 4 matches that are also a blind draw, and then I guess from there they move on to something. At that point, my eyes went cross, and I didn't understand anymore because I think the blind draw part of it is particularly unnecessary. Like, just make a bracket.
Yep.
You know.
And the other part about it that I didn't like, which is what we heard at the end, and it explained why Moxley's in it, but I don't like it, is that the title is basically frozen now.
Yeah.
And the winner of the cup, instead of keeping Moxley out and having the winner take him on, it's just whoever wins this is the champ.
Yeah. So they have been saying that from the beginning.
Have they?
That is the one.
I don't like it.
Well, that's the one bit of information that has been consistent on this Continental Cup, because they have changed a couple. I think let me put it this way. My understanding of what this tournament has changed a couple times based on things that they have said on Dynamite and Collision.
Okay.
Which makes me think they were still finding their way through it a little bit.
Building the plane as it's flying. I understand.
Yeah, I think they were definitely building it in the air. Yeah. And look, I've been
maybe
there.
I missed it. But for some reason, I didn't think that was the case. I was just confused when they said Mox was in it, and I didn't understand it at that point, and maybe I stopped listening to their explanation. But tonight felt like the first time I personally heard it or realized it, and it's so complicated, and I don't like that aspect of it. And whatever, it's a thing, and the matches have been fun, so I'll forgive them.
Yeah, so let me be clear before I go further down this road. I don't mind the Continental Cup. I really don't. As a concept, I don't mind it. I like tournaments in wrestling. I'm a fan. I don't know how I feel about them doing it with the Continental Championship again, because we know we're going to get the Continental Classic in the winter, which unfortunately, I hate to say this, is not that far away.
No, it's not.
So to do it now feels... I don't know. It feels a little forced. And it feels to me like, you just came off a tournament in the Owen. So it feels a little forced to me. And it feels like they're building this airplane in the air because they've changed their explanation of it multiple times. But that's why when Mox dropped the Continental Cup and we were going, I'm sorry, what? He was like, oh yeah, my reign might come to an end because it was going to be part of that. I agree with you. I think it would have been better run the tournament with the winner gets him at All In. I think that would have been better.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong. What I do like about it is that we're getting some story beats with the participants. I like that. I like that we're at least doing something, giving some momentum to All In. I just feel like the title situation itself is a little convoluted, and I don't think I needed that extra wrinkle in this story. But that, again, that's me nitpicking. But I don't like being confused like that when I should be like, wait, this should make more sense to me. But
yeah, I kind of wonder if Mox wasn't supposed to say that, like we said a couple weeks ago, of like, I think he said something he wasn't supposed to there.
Yeah,
and they weren't ready.
Yeah,
yeah,
he jumped the gun by a week. It sounds like.
I think so, and they had to scramble to put this thing together. That's how it feels to me. I may very well be wrong on that, and that's fine if I am. But
no, I think you're right. I think that's 100% right.
It's a little overbooked of blind draw, and then this, and I get it again that he's trying to play. Tony Khan's trying to play off of kind of how European soccer does their tournaments. I do get that, but I think again, then you just follow that blueprint. But I also understand, but then that basically is the Continental Classic. So,
right. And again, look, I appreciate you telling us it's a blind draw. We know it's not. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have been set up with the final match we had tonight, which had a bunch of cool footnotes to it. It's just, but okay, we did the tournament. Give us a blind draw. I'll take it because the matches have been good.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I like tournaments is you're going to get good matches and you are going to get some story that comes out of it. And you're going to get some guys featured that, we haven't seen in a while or that don't have a clear path right now, which we'll talk about later. But
how surprised were you that Eddie Kingston won over the weekend?
I wasn't, believe it or not.
I was. I really was.
So once they announced him, I was like, you need to let him go deep in this tournament.
In
agree. Fact, I think it should be him and Mox at All In.
That'd be great.
I think it should be him and Mox. I really do.
That'd be great. Or him and Claudio, because that would work
Him and Claudio would be good too, yeah.
Either one would work.
I think Mox is going to the final. Like, I think Mox is going to All In because, again, this is professional wrestling and it's who draws, right?
Yep. I 100%
he draws.
agree. Yep.
Yeah. So I think / hope that it will be Mox and Eddie.
Yeah,
apparently, I don't know if you read this. Apparently, the reason Eddie hasn't been seen a lot and why he's been on ROH is they wanted to really give him the opportunity to kind of get his legs back under him after he broke his leg and was out for so long. Like, because he couldn't do anything with that broken leg, they wanted to make sure, like, we're going to put you on ROH to let you get your timing back, let you get your wind back, all that stuff, and let him kind of build up there. So sort of like, when a baseball player rehabs an injury in the minor leagues, it was kind of the same thing. And if that's true, when you put it in that context, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm glad you did that. So,
yeah. And again, I have to remember there's Dynamite, there's Collision, and there's ROH.
Yep.
You should put whoever you want on any of those shows, and I should be okay with it. When some of our personal favorites don't get on the shows that we watch more regularly, it's just one of those things. So, yeah.
Yep. But you know what? That's wrestling, though. There are always people that I'm like, man, why don't they do more with that person across all the companies, at least the ones I pay attention to? Yep. It's just how it goes. I was always a big fan of Matt Cardona, and they never did anything with him. And then he got huge on the indies, and now they're kind of still not doing anything with him. So,
Yep.
Anyway. I digress.
Speaking of rumors, though, I think, and I could be wrong, we're going to see the return to AEW of one of the originals, which is Joey Janela.
Really?
Because Joey Janela this past weekend, I think it was this past weekend, did his 20 years of Joey Janela with GCW. They did a whole show. He's got a match coming up with Marco Stunt. In the storyline he's had in GCW is he has not won a match this year. And the storyline is if he doesn't beat Marco Stunt, then he's going to be done. And that seems to be where they're going. But then on this 20th thing, this 20 years of Joey Janela, at the end, he's doing this big thing. And he goes, I guarantee you will see me back on TV. And he even goes to say, then he goes to talk about, my first run. He goes, a lot of my friends are in that locker room. He goes, I think you know the one I'm talking about. And he's talking about how his first run there, he wasn't used to getting all this money. And so he used it for, lobster and booze, but he's been sober for 2 years. And when he comes back, he's still going to spend money on lobster. But so I think we're going to see Joey Janela back in AEW probably after All In.
Interesting. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'll be fascinated to see A, if that happens, and B, what they do with him.
Yeah.
If that does come to be. So,
I mean, it wouldn't shock me to see him on ROH or Collision a lot if he's on, but if he's not going to be back in AEW, then I completely misread what he was talking about, but I don't think I did.
No, I don't think you did either. That's how I read that as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, a spot that we might see him in, depending on contracts and stuff, the Casino Gauntlet match.
Absolutely.
Which plays nicely into what happened next.
Yes.
See what I did there? That's a transition, boys
That's
and girls.
Great, my friend.
So next matchup was MJF, Nick Wayne, and Speedball Mike Bailey for the number 2 spot in the Casino Gauntlet match. And loved it.
Yes.
Loved it. First thing I wrote down, my question for you, Unhinged MJF. Good or great?
Great.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely great.
It's exactly what you said last week of he is doing his version of some of the best of Ric Flair, and that's saying something.
He's such a student of the game, and he is pulling bits of some of his favorites. He's pulling some Flair. There's some Piper in there. There's some of those classic beats that he is pulling in, but he's making them all his own, and it's just he's so good right now. He's so good on the mic. I'm loving the whole one true champ thing. Love it.
Yep. Again, I think in anybody else's hands, I would be like, oh no.
Yeah.
But with him, he's going to make it work. He's making it work. He will continue to.
How good do you think Nick Wayne is looking right now?
He looks great. Again, this is a guy that if he A, stays healthy, and B, continues on the trajectory that he's on, which there's no reason to think he wouldn't, but things happen. You spend your money on lobster and booze, for example. If Nick continues going the way that he is, I'm not saying it's going to be next year. I'm not even necessarily saying in 2028. But this is a guy who, in the next 5-ish years, is going to be way up at the top of the card in AEW. A guy who I could see him in the Kevin Knight spot. I could see him in the Darby spot. I mean, this is a guy who I think is going to be challenging for the world title. I think he's going to hold multiple singles titles.
I agree.
If he gets the promo skills right, no stopping him.
Yep. I think he went to Japan and he took part in the Super Junior tournament. And I think that experience alone, he grew by leaps and bounds since he's been back. I think he's just done nothing but look incredible. And this match right away, I automatically wrote down possible match of the night because this was a banger, man. It was so good. I mean, Speedball, Nick Wayne, my God.
Yeah.
And that Nick Wayne kick to Speedball's head, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I do.
It sounded like a thunk and it looked painful.
Yeah. Ugh. He also, I think, cracked MJF pretty good, if I recall correctly. Yeah.
I think he did.
I loved MJF teaching him, no, you got to hit him down here because then they can't breathe. And then Nick turning that around on him later in the match. This was great. It was Speedball looking intense. And I thought a little bit kind of almost frantic of I got to win this,
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Nick Wayne looked great. MJF did MJF things, which is always good. This was tremendous. Great opening match. I'm with you. I almost put down match of the night, but it's not. But man, it was hard for me to pick match of the night tonight. It was hard. The post-match promo from MJF was, of course, great.
Mm-hmm. Really solid. And again, I'm loving this one true champ thing.
Mm-hmm. I really have nothing to add other than it was great.
Yeah.
Then the Divine Dominion promo, which, okay. So what about this held you from putting it in the like category? I'm curious.
Again, I liked it, but I didn't really like it. And everything in my like category was I really liked it. And so I thought this was fine. I thought they sounded great. I think the thing that keeps me back from it is that it was just a backstage promo, and I would much rather see them in action on Dynamite than just a backstage promo.
Yeah,
but that's fine.
And that's
it
fair.
keeps us from watching yet another squash match, which is fine. And there wasn't much being added to the story, but at least they're reminding us that there is some story there, and they're just reiterating, look, Birds, you haven't beaten us. You're not undefeated, and it's fine that you think that, but you haven't beaten us. How can you say you're undefeated? So we're going to drop some beers on the floor and kick your ass in the UK. So
yeah, I didn't love that at the end. I thought that was a little weird, and I thought they held the camera on him a little too long. But that aside, the reason I liked it is actually a lot of the stuff that you said there. It wasn't the squash match, which we know how I feel about those. And I can't, in good conscience, sit here week after week and say you could have done it with a promo and then get mad at them for doing it with a promo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I thought it was solid. I thought it did a perfectly fine job of pushing the story forward, which, again, as we've talked about with this particular match, don't go into this going, oh, there's going to be a ton of red hot story behind it. There's not.
We already know what the story is. There's not going to be many more layers to it.
Yep. So from that aspect, I was like, yeah, this is fine. I thought Lena Cross had a couple good lines in there. I liked when she called them cliche.
Yeah, that was good.
I thought that was good. So I didn't mind it. And in the context of this story, if you, at this point where they're at, from where they started, if you get me going, yeah, I didn't mind it, then, logically when I'm reviewing it, I'm like, okay, I'm going to put that in the like category then, because it didn't make me go, ugh.
And again, don't get me wrong. These aren't things I didn't like.
Yeah.
I did like it. But again, I think it's because I really like so many things on it that I didn't feel like some of those were equal in like. So it just automatically shuffled down to my met or mid. And really, my categories tonight should be really liked, and I could do without.
Sure. Gotcha. It's like when you look at the spice menu, right? Like hot,
yes,
medium, not. I don't know.
Yes. Yeah.
Not
Please
spicy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Mayonnaise. I don't know.
Yep, that's exactly it.
I think that's the scale. Hot, medium, mayonnaise. Yeah.
That's it. We're going to change in the heat check to hot mid mayonnaise. That's what we're doing.
Well, we'll keep the name because I don't want to redo the graphic. But
no, we're keeping heat check, but it's just now going to be hot, mid, and mayonnaise. That's our levels. Yeah.
Deal. Then Bang Bang Gang with Mick. Which again, I think I'm a little bit higher on. I think I might know why, but what were your thoughts on this?
I love Mick Foley.
I do too.
Let me just say that right out. I think right now he is coming across as a little too unprepared or unfocused, and it takes something away from it for me. And I don't know exactly what it is. Like, I don't mind his shenanigans. I think, I love I love him. But there's just something about right now his weird portrayal that I find a little too unfocused, that is, instead of accentuating the humor or accentuating it, to me, it's detracting just enough for me to go, okay. I mean, Jay White was fine. I thought the guns were fine. They didn't let it go too long. The guns up. I did enjoy the thing. He goes, can I do it too? Can I do it? Like that. I don't know. There's just something about his presentation right now that is making me not fall in love with it. I don't hate it, but I'm just like, I'd like to be a little more focused.
I get that. And I don't disagree. He's definitely leaning into the being goofy. I think when he shows up again later, it's more evident I think this is a little bit of the knock on AEW of the inmates running the asylum. And I think that particularly with the legends, they're not giving them like any notes. But what you have to understand, if you're Tony Khan or anybody else backstage in AEW, is you're putting Mick Foley in a role he's never been in before. Right?
Right.
If his job was simply to go out and cut promos, yeah, let him go nuts. He's done that a million times.
Yep.
If his job was to, take a giant bump off of a Hell in a Cell. No notes. He knows what to do.
Yep.
But to have him in the interviewer role is something he's never done before, and I do think they need to rein him in a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'm not advocating for it a lot, but a little bit of, if you're going to be interviewing people, interview them.
Yeah.
And so, they're figuring it out.
Yep.
I liked this solely because of Jay White. I thought Jay White was, what I wrote down is Jay White is very good at his job.
He is. I love Jay White. I think he's doing great.
Yeah.
Was it the two of us talking about how the Bang Bang Gang isn't the same without Jay White?
Yeah. It's just not. They don't feel anywhere near as important without him. It's not that bad.
No.
When Jay White isn't there, because Juice can still do a pretty decent promo and the Guns can still do a pretty decent promo, but it just doesn't, it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Well, and they hadn't been at full strength for a long time because you had half the Guns. Well, the Guns back and forth were out with injury.
Yep.
I think Juice was out for a minute.
Missed time. Yeah.
So they were just keeping them on TV enough for you to remember them. And now they're finally back all together and doing well. And I think Ace Austin is a great addition. And I love me some Jay White. Like I said, I liked this interview.
Yeah.
But.
Well, the way I would put it is, and tell me if you agree with this, the way I would put it is, I liked the Jay White promo. I didn't love it as an interview. Fair?
That's it. That's 100% it.
Cool.
That could have been, like you said, that could have been the promo. And we didn't need the rest of it.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yeah. Then Jay White took on David Finlay. Again, if it's a match on this show, it was a banger. I mean, they were really good. They beat the crap out of each other. It was great.
Yep. And it was cool to hear their history over 100 times in the ring together, either as teammates or against each other. I thought that was really great. Again, this was another possible match of the night for me.
But yeah.
Those two just tore it down.
Yeah, they were great.
Loved that. Great. Loved it a lot.
Then Hangman and Brodito did a promo. But really...
Wait, before we get there, let me run some things by you.
Okay.
Hang D, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Hang Dito, bro.
Little bit better.
Bromando.
Well, I kind of like Bromando.
Bromando? Okay.
I kind of like that. Do you have more?
No, those were the only three I could come up with, and I had to start paying attention to what they were saying.
Fair. I like Bromando. I like that.
Bromando is my favorite so far, but I need to work on that.
No, that might be a winner. I don't know. Let's send it to them on Blue Sky and see what they think. But anyway.
Okay.
So Bromando promo, but really Swerve promo. Swerve came back.
Yes.
Which shocked me. Not only that he came back, but at this spot really surprised me.
Yeah. Loved it.
I thought it was great. Swerve pointing out that really the only thing Brodito and Hangman have in common is beef with him, did more to explain that team than anything they did in the previous 2 weeks.
And the funny thing is, has nothing to do with why they're together. But it's the only common thread they have. So it's like, look, we were confused as to why they're together. They are. Let's make it make sense with Swerve. I'm back in. I'm back on board.
It was great. I thought then the demand would come out, which again, this makes sense, right? I figured this was coming.
With a fatal twist too. So you had 6 of them out there.
Yeah. I thought this was one of the better promos Ricochet has done in AEW. I thought he was really good.
Absolutely it was, yes.
I think Swerve, so this is the first thing I thought was, I think Swerve being kind of the common thread here is very interesting because I'm not sure how he fits into it.
Right.
And then I had a thought.
I wonder if it's a similar thought to what I had. So let's hear this.
Okay. So if this turns into a triple threat for the trios, where it's the Demand versus Bromando versus Swerve and mystery partners at All In, could I interest you in Swerve and the New Day?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. That is not what I thought, what I was thinking. but you can totally interest me in that.
Yeah.
100%.
Now, here's what I'll say. I don't love that as the spot for the New Day because I think the thing that makes the most sense is the Young Bucks beat Cope and Cage, New Day comes out, and we set up Bucks and New Day because for a long time, the Bucks Twitter bio was someday we will wrestle the New Day and it will be awesome. Like,
absolutely.
So I think that makes a lot more sense.
Yes, but I would watch that. I think you could make a case for that and not be too far off the range with it. I don't think
because I think that Ricochet made a great point of find two guys that don't hate you. You can't.
Yeah.
And I think, man, you put those three guys together. You know, we talk about you got to elevate the trios titles if you're gonna do this. I'm not sure you could pick a better three to elevate it.
I 100% agree with that. 100%. What I thought they were going to do is somehow down the road we're going to see a 8-man tag and Swerve's going to have to team with Bromando.
I think they may do that. They may try to do that and throw that in versus, you know, the Demand and somebody from the probably Jay Lethal, but somebody from the Lethal Twist. They may do that to help build towards it. My other thought here is if they keep New Day, because I'm convinced they're showing up at All In. If they keep New Day with the Bucks, the other two people that I could see fitting in here are two guys that I keep asking myself, what happened to them? Where are they? And that would be the Hurt Syndicate.
Yes, they just showed up. Weren't they on Collision?
I think
being
so.
Hired by what's his name? Shane Taylor promotion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, STP hired them for what? I don't know, but they hired the Hurt Syndicate.
Well, I mean, that would be an interesting thing of if it's to get involved in the trios. I don't know. But that was my thought is you could work the angle of Swerve hired them and they're happy to help as long as the check clears, right? So
yeah, exactly.
And it would give those guys something to do because again, I miss the Hurt Syndicate. I just do.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw this, but New Day has been added to the Jericho Cruise for the Rock and Rager or whatever.
I did not see that.
Yeah, Jericho Cruise.
Okay.
They're going to be on that.
Yeah.
Not saying that's an indication they're going to be in AEW, but it's not a helpful sign.
I say it certainly doesn't hurt anything.
No, it does not.
To put a bow on this fantasy booking speculation aside, I thought this whole segment was really, really good. My only concern with this is, well, let me back up before I hit the concern. I'm very intrigued to see where we're going with this and how Swerve fits into it. You have my full attention on the trios titles now, which is...
Yes, you do.
I'm not sure something I've ever said before. My only concern with it is there are only 18 days to build this story between now and All In, and that's a somewhat compressed time frame, but okay, it's still probably enough to make it happen, particularly given the people involved and how good they all are. So, yeah, okay, let's do this.
Yeah. I mean, we're already going to see Lethal Twist against the Trios champs, I think, next week or on Collision, one of the two.
Yeah, I don't remember.
So, have they announced the Demand getting their rematch at All In?
No.
If they haven't, I anticipate hearing that soon.
Yeah, they did not announce it, and I think that's, well, obviously it's purposeful, and I think it's because, again, it's Swerve is going to fit into this somehow. It's just a question of, is it going to be him and two people that we know are going to be in it, or is it him and mystery partners?
Right.
I think that's where we're headed.
Could anyone but Swerve had looked that cool walking away from 9 other guys and still you thinking he's going to whip the shit out of everybody?
It was incredible. I was literally like, don't try it because he will win. He will take all of you down.
I'm surprised no one threw hands because I was kind of like, ooh, what are they going to do with this? This is really interesting. Having the Demand come out and call out Swerve as well, I really liked that. Like it, again, there's so much spice going on now, and they took putting the titles on those three on Bromando for what we thought was no real reason. Now we've got a bunch of fun story opportunity. I say run with it. Go. Let's do this.
Yeah, I agree. They really made something out of nothing here. And
yes, they did.
Again, kudos to Ricochet and his portion of the promo of reminding, oh, you got history with us too. You dropped Gates of Agony, and I don't know why you did that, but thanks, basically, and I was like, oh man, I forgot all about that. So they did a nice job of reminding you on some of the long-term stuff that's going on here. But overall, very interesting. Really enjoyed it. Really curious to see where it goes. So well done.
And as for me, I can never remember what GOA stands for. So I'm glad you said Gates of Agony. Because I can never, for the life of me, I can never remember what that means.
Yeah. That's what I'm here for.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Then a short and sweet pre-tape with Willow and Mercedes that I thought was fine, if for no other reason than it's showing you Mercedes ain't playing, man.
No.
She is not playing around.
No. The one thing I wrote down, and I don't think this has anything to do with anything, but when Mercedes called Willow a dumb bitch, I wrote down, Tekla might file a gimmick infringement lawsuit. Better watch it back.
Yeah. Then it was Jericho and Kevin Knight for the TNT title. I thought the match was I enjoyed the match. I thought it was better than I expected it to be.
That's exactly what I wrote down.
Yeah. I thought it was a good match. The only thing that jumped out at me, did they blow the screwdriver spot?
Yes.
Because they were too far away and Jericho had to drag him over.
It was super awkward.
Yeah.
I don't know what the miscue was there.
I think
they were trying to make it like Jericho's trying to tell him to get out, but it seemed super awkward, but it's fine. Whatever.
Yeah, it was just weird. I'm like, why would you drag him to the ropes when you had him in the middle of the ring? It was weird. It was an odd spot, but
yeah,
whatever.
So I did write down, as little sense as this match may seem to make, it still has more story than Jericho and Ciampa.
Yeah, I agree. I thought what this did tonight is show you exactly what Jericho should be doing now in AEW.
Yes.
Put him in these matches, let him put the kids over, and let them add it to the resume. This is his spot now, whether he wants to admit it or not. This is his spot of put the young guys over, help them, teach them, put them over. I'm a big fan of putting him in these matches.
Absolutely.
You want to put him and Nick Wayne together? Let's do it,
Yep. And like I said, this one at least made sense, and they told you why it made sense. They showed Jericho keeping Kevin Knight from hitting his coast to coast with his Judas effect. So yeah, it's like that one thing gave us more story than the whole Ciampa feud did. And I was like, okay, yeah. And this match was way better than I thought it was. Not way, but it was better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was pretty entertaining, and I have no notes on it. I thought it was good. I liked it. Other than the weird screwdriver spot, yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. But, whatever. It didn't matter anyway, so it didn't factor into the finish anyway, so whatever.
Right. Yeah, like, not at all. I don't think I've seen anyone recover from a screwdriver to the head faster than Chris Jericho tonight.
Right? And I thought it was interesting that he didn't blade there, because usually they do on the screwdriver spot, but, whatever. Whatever. Then the Death Riders promo that I said, fine, I guess. This is why it went in my mid. I couldn't hear Claudio. I don't know if that was just a me issue, but I couldn't hear what he said.
I think I was so surprised he was talking that I didn't hear a lot of it, but I think basically he was just like, it doesn't matter who we're gonna, it's all the Death Riders. It doesn't matter. We're taking on everybody. That's all it really was. My favorite part was seeing Mox and Marina grapple in the background for apparently no real reason, and I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was really funny when he just randomly snatched Wheeler at the end of it, when he was just like randomly snatched Yuta, and Yuta went in like it was a hug, and then it was like, oh no, he's not hugging me. Okay.
No.
Which feels like a very Wheeler Yuta thing, but anyway.
Yes, it does. It was so weird. I was fine with it. I liked it. I liked Moxley's, if you win tonight, is it luck or is it preparation and plus opportunity? And I think he's finally, after so long in this Death Rider mode, getting to the point where his original point is starting to finally make some sense. So yeah, you can give me more of that. I'm okay with it.
My thing with that line in particular, though, was, and I suppose this is why he did it, but isn't that the saying of luck is the intersection of preparation and opportunity or whatever? It's
maybe.
I think that's a thing.
Oh.
I think that's a saying of like, and so I was like, so then either way, wouldn't it be luck? I mean, I was never great at math, but if if A equals B and B equals C, then
yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't remember the thing. So yeah, could be.
It's fine.
It's
fine.
You know what? It would make sense if it is, and that is such a Moxley thing to do that I'm even more on board with it. Like it even better.
At the end of the day with this one, there's nothing inherently wrong with it. No. It just didn't land with me the way that I think they wanted it to. And that's fine. They're not all gonna. Mm-hmm. No. That's okay. I get it it's just pointing out that, like you said, we don't care about the blind draw. We'll just wrestle whoever's in front of us and we'll win because that's what we do. Mm-hmm. That's fine. Yep. I will add this one little note, though. Jon should really think about getting the tooth fixed because it's giving him a lisp. And it was so noticeable to me tonight that I was like, I'm having a little trouble concentrating on what you're saying because you're starting to sound like Cody Rhodes, my guy. So,
damn.
Nothing but love to my dear departed friend, Cody.
When is he showing up again?
Who, Cody?
Yeah. Didn't we say he was showing up in AEW? Is that the rumor we were starting?
Oh, yeah.
Did we forget about that?
We really did.
Yeah, totally forgot about that.
I think we just said he was coming back. I'm not sure we put a time on it.
Yeah, that's right. Well, maybe he and the New Day are going to challenge for the Trios titles.
That could be. Maybe he'll be one of Swerve's mystery partners.
Maybe.
This will be the team. Swerve, Cody, and Punk. I barely got through it. Then we got the thing that we didn't need in Kris Statlander versus Already in the Ring. Again, this is nothing against the two women. It's nothing against the match. It's just we didn't need it. We know how I feel about this. I've talked about it a lot. I don't need Kris Statlander, who has held the two major women's championships in the TBS and the women's world title. I don't need to see her squash somebody that I'm not going to see on TV again to get the bona fides. I know who she is. If she just cut the promo, if all she did was cut that promo, I'd have been like, great.
Yeah.
We didn't need it here. And on a show that, again, went well past the end time, could we have removed that, 10 minutes or whatever it was? Yes, we could have.
Yep.
So again, this was not egregious. I don't like when they do this. We don't need it.
This was the most complicated segment that, for me, from a like-dislike thing, because the match itself, it was fine. For a squash match, it wasn't too short. It wasn't terrible. Viva Already in the Ring Van got a little bit of movement in there, so not terrible, but still a squash match. But I felt the timing of this squash match right after that Jericho Kevin Knight bit, kind of the momentum kind of slowed down. But then you clutter it up with this awkward interview with Mick Foley. I liked Kris Statlander's part, kind of like with the Bang Bang Gang. I like Kris Statlander's part. It could have just been a promo, not an interview. Didn't need the squash match. And then you had Sheeta coming out with Persephone as if they're going to attack Kris Statlander, as if they didn't realize that their opponents would be following them immediately afterwards. So it was just a little awkward to get to this point. And the fact that it really, the only point for this squash match was to announce there's going to be a 4-way match for the TBS title next week.
Yeah.
And it's like, you could have just did that in the interview or in a promo.
Yeah, exactly. You could have just done the promo, which I agree with you. I think this was the best Kris Statlander promo we've gotten in a long time.
Yeah, it was really
good. Great tonight. She was really good. Mick was awkward again. I agree. He's a little all over the place there. But yeah, you could have just done the promo, set up the 4-way for next week, and it would have been fine. And then roll right into, you could have had her sit a commentary if you wanted and just move right into the tag match between Persephone and Sheeta and Thunder Rosa and Maya World, which I thought was a very good match. Persephone, I thought, looked really good in this. Persephone is one of those that I'm like, they've got to, they got to try and get her full time when her deal with CMLL is up.
Yep.
Because I think she's a huge star in the making here in the U.S. She's already a star in Mexico. So I think she could be a huge star. And I don't know, because the only time I really saw her do a promo was when I was watching CMLL and she did it in Spanish. And I'm not fluent. I know enough to know what she was saying, but I'm not fluent.
Right.
But it seemed like what I picked up on, I was like, that was a good promo. So I think she can do a promo.
Right.
She could be that top heel for a long time in the women's division, which they need bad.
Yep.
So
I like this match a lot. I thought, like you said, Persephone looked great. I thought Maya World looked really good, especially at the end. I thought they made her look like a champ. Because at first I thought, at the very beginning of the match, I was like, wow, Maya looks like not the least important person in this match, but kind of. But then once the match started and the momentum got going, it's like, okay, cool. Now we're back in it, because you had two former women's world champs. You had a current CMML champ. You had Thunder Rosa wearing a belt. And then you have Maya World with the TBS title. It felt like, okay, she is oddly the weird link. But then at the end of the match, it's like, nope, she's devastating and looked really great. So I was very happy with how that came out.
It was very interesting to me, because at one point I was like, okay, so they're going to hide her and have Thunder Rosa do like all the lifting here.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I was wrong, because she got the hot tag and she came in and she looked really good. She looked very, very good. So with the four-way, this was my thought, and tell me what you think about this. I think next week that four-way match is going to tell us what AEW thinks about Maya World as a draw, okay? And I want to be very clear on that before the internet yells at me. I'm not saying what they think about her as a performer. I'm not saying what they think about her as the TBS champion, because some people are like, oh, they made her a champ, they like her. I'm not saying they don't. What I'm saying is we're going to learn if they think she is a draw or not next week. Because if they think that she can draw, they're going to leave that belt on her and she's going to take it into All In. But the timing of the match and the addition of Kris Statlander makes me think they don't see her as a at least pay-per-view level draw yet. Not saying that she won't get there, not saying that they're giving up on her, but you have All In, their biggest show, 18 days away. You got to sell tickets. You got to sell pay-per-view buys. You got to do all that stuff. If they put that belt on Kris Statlander, which I think they might, that's going to tell you where they see her right now, Maya World, where they see her as a draw right now. Doesn't mean next year it won't be different. It probably will, but I'm going to be very curious about that match. I'm very interested in it.
What I find interesting is that they're doing this next week, and not because I think there's every possibility you can make that match be a draw at All In.
I agree.
Because again, you have two former world champions, you have a current world champion, and you have the TBS title holder. I think that's enough for an All In pay-per-view match, personally.
I agree.
And I hadn't thought of it that way, because I think you're 100% right. I think this is a test. And if we see Statlander or Shida pull off the win, and I think if we see Statlander pull off the win, I think she's going to end up pinning Shida.
I think so too.
And if we see that, I think you're right. I think they feel more confident in Stat Daddy bringing the title to All In. But then the question becomes, who are they going to have challenger? Are we going to see Persephone, or are we going to see a three-way between Persephone and Shida if they don't have the confidence in Maya World to put her in it? Because if you do, why bother doing this next week, and just why not wait till All In?
Right. The timing of it is why I say it's going to tell us a lot about how they see Maya World as a draw. Because you're right, just put it on the card for All In, and it would have made total sense. I'd be like, great, let's do it. And then you have some more time to keep building that heat. The placement of it is what is telling me, like, that's what makes me think they may switch this belt.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And I think that's exactly why. I think we are going to see how they feel about her as a draw. I think if they play it right, they can use this feel-good momentum with Maya World. She looked strong tonight. She had a really good pin tonight. I think they can make this work and have her go to All In still the champ. It does have me concerned now that you bring that up, that they're going to switch it to Statlander. I guess we'll just wait and see. But
what I find fascinating about it as a whole is going back to one of the things that you brought up there of the story seems to be Statlander and Persephone.
Yeah.
That seems to be the story we're building. So if you put the belt on Kris Statlander, then Persephone has to somehow get screwed out of the finish. She can't factor into the finish, right? And it's got to be Statlander that took her out of the finish.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's, she's going for the pin and Statlander pulls her out and gets the pin, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yep.
And then I think at that point, then the match at All In becomes Statlander and Persephone for the TBS title.
Yes.
Which then leaves Sheeta out there basically in the wind. And I don't know that that's the worst thing because as you and I have talked about since she came back, the character hasn't really hit.
Right.
But it leaves Sheeta with nothing to do and potentially Maya World with nothing to do, depending on what they do. They'll add to the All-In card. We know this. Maybe the women get a Casino Gauntlet match as well, and those two show up there. I mean, it wouldn't shock me, right?
Right. Although I will say, I think Sheeta teaming with Persephone has been really good for Sheeta. I think that's been a really good combination.
Yep.
And I can totally see that. What I think would add another wrinkle to that next week is if Persephone is trying to pin Maya World, Statlander takes her off, and then she pins Maya World. Mm-hmm. Now you have that extra wrinkle of you pinned your friend. Hey, look, it's business, and now you have that extra weird wrinkle.
Yep.
I think AEW does that a lot with their faces, putting them against each other. So maybe don't do that. But there's a lot of still story left if you do a title switch next week.
Like I said, to me, this match from a business perspective is fascinating.
Absolutely.
Absolutely fascinating to me. So even if that's not necessarily what they were going for, you have my attention on this match that, again, is in an odd spot given that there's 18 days to All In. So it's a fascinating match from a business perspective. We'll see where it goes next week.
Yeah.
Then the Darby pre-tape that we mentioned earlier, which is not bad. It helped build toward the obvious match that I don't think they've made it official yet, have they, for the TNT title at All In?
They did tonight, yeah.
They did, okay.
I think so, yeah.
Okay. So
yeah, because it was Falls Count Anywhere.
Oh, okay. I totally missed
reveal.
that.
That was a big Darby reveal. I forgot, yeah.
I might have been in the bathroom for that part.
What I found interesting is when they threw it to the backstage or the backstage promo, they made it sound like, Darby's been seen talking with Tony Khan. And so I thought we were going to see the two of them talking. And then you just have Darby, and he didn't mention anything about talking to Tony, about making it, but it's apparently
that's what I thought too.
It's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere, and that's going to be the thing. So
yeah,
it was just like, again,
it was an odd throw.
Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah.
But it just landed in my, okay, that's fine. So it kind of came in my meh category. So
then we got the Don Callis family promo. Really starts out as a Fletcher promo. The main thing with this is it sets up the triple threat of Fletcher, Okada, and Takeshita at All In, which I am very much here for.
Yeah, I liked this more than I thought I was going to. I really liked this bit, and that was in my really liked category. Thought this was great. Thought it didn't last too long. Loved it. Really good.
And it keeps sowing the seed of Kyle's pissed.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going to play out? He's pissed at Don. How's that going to play out?
Yep. He's pissed at Don. Is he going to be more mad at Don? Is he going to be more mad at Takeshita? Is he going to be more mad at Okada? Don putting over Okada so much really gives you the idea that Fletcher is going to be on the outs at the end of this somehow. So
I think more and more when the family dissolves, which I think we're getting ever closer to, I think Don's going to go with Okada and be his mouthpiece.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep. But we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got the main event, Jack Perry and Jon Moxley in the Continental Cup. And I very thoroughly enjoyed this. It's my match of the night. Again, it was hard to pick a match of the night, but this got it for me.
Yep, and maybe it's recency bias because it was the last match I saw, but I really loved this match too. I thought it was interesting that Jack is the one who was bleeding and not Moxley, because I think Moxley bleeds anytime the bell rings. So I was a little surprised by that, but it played into the match. I thought, again, I've been really high on how AEW has been pacing their matches, how the internal logic of the matches and the storytelling within the matches. Either I'm paying more attention or they're getting a little bit sharper and a little bit better at that presentation. But I thought this match was basically, I got no notes for this match. It was so good, so well done. Jack Perry looked great in defeat. Moxley looks like he should. It was really, really good. I loved the new submission he threw onto Jack Perry when he had his legs in his arms and his head in his leg. It was so weird. I was like, why have I not seen that before? But that was really cool. So no, I love this match. That was great.
Yeah, I thought it was very, very good. I don't think it is recency bias because through probably the first half of the match, I was going, good, but I don't know if it's going to be match of the night for me. And I was kind of leaning more towards the MJF Speedball Nick Wayne match.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was really when Jack started to really get his offense in.
Yeah.
Is when I went, oh, okay, it really started to pick up. And again, I think that's part of what you were talking about with the pacing and the psychology and all that. Great match. I thought the heads popping up over the railing on the entrance was really funny. On Moxley's entrance was really good.
I love that. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, it had potential to be cheesy. It was really funny. Like I legitimately laughed out loud at it. This is just an aside. Do you ever watch Jon Moxley matches and worry that he's crossing into Goldberg territory of like he gets too into it and forgets that it's not real?
Yeah, and forgets he's not Superman every once in a while.
There are some things that he does, and he was doing it tonight. And I guess this is a credit to him, really. Like, I guess I'm paying him a big compliment as I'm saying it, where when he really starts doing his like super intense stuff, it looks to me like he's laying in shots so hard that I legitimately worry about his opponent.
Yeah.
And, the same way that like, they always said Goldberg kind of didn't understand that, no, this isn't a real fight,
Right,
and sometimes I worry about that with Jon, that he gets too into it. But again, I think I'm paying him a compliment that he does that good of a job of selling all of it.
Yeah.
Because you never hear that about him. So
right. No, I think that is the case. I think he is not buying in, but he knows the character so well that he knows that when it's time to crank it up, it's time to make it look as even more real than it already looks. So I think that's nothing but a compliment to Jon.
Yeah. So other than that was the only other thing that jumped out at me. I thought it was an excellent match. Like I said, match of the night. I genuinely thought Mox was going to lose at multiple points, which means you put this thing together really well. The only thing that concerns me about this match is, what are we doing with Jack Perry? We got to figure out something for him to do because the kid is really good. You've invested time in building him up and making him a star. They got to figure out something for him to do.
Yes, they do. I almost wonder if they're just keeping him on TV long enough for Luchasaurus to finally get healed up and come back so they can put them into the tag team division. I'm curious. I don't know if that's true, but it does make me wonder when it's like, okay, he's out of the tournament, right? He's out of the tournament.
He's out of the tournament now. Yeah.
So he's
my understanding, unless they change the rules again between now and Collision.
They might. Yeah, they might. So he's probably not going to be on All In, which, you can't get everybody on All In. I understand that.
They're going to try.
Unless they do. Well, they're doing a gauntlet match, right?
Yep. And I was going to say, my guess is he's in the gauntlet match.
Yeah, he'll be in that. So
yeah.
I don't know what they're going to do with Jack Perry. I really don't. And he's one that I do have a little bit of concern with. They have such a deep roster and so much talent that he's one of those I don't want to see get lost in the shuffle because he is so good. But he just resigned, so he's not going anywhere for a minute.
No, I agree. It concerns me a little bit, only a little, but it concerns me a little bit with him. I do think you make an interesting point of maybe they're just waiting for Luchasaurus to get healthy and they'll fire that back up. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. But to your point, the roster is so deep and so stacked, and you have so much trouble getting people on as it is. I did appreciate Tony Khan when he was asked about, a bunch of those releases, their non-competes are up. Are we going to see any of them? And he said basically the same thing you did of like, I don't know if we have room for them, basically. And I hope he sticks to that. I think you can fit New Day in. I think that's about it. I think that's about it.
Why can't I think of her name? I really am upset with myself and my ADHD right now.
I don't even know how to help you right now.
Yeah, I can't. Boy, it's so close. so close to the tip of my brain hole, and I can't have it fall out. I don't know. I can't think of it. I can see her. I see her in my head.
Can you give me a description? That might help.
Bayley. That's what I'm thinking of.
I wondered if that's where you were going, but
Bayley.
There were women that got released, so I was like, well, maybe he's going that way. But
Bayley was my joke earlier was going to be Swerve, Bayley, and Cody Rhodes. I forgot what my joke was going to be. I am so out of my nut right now. You know what? Hold on.
I would like to add something to my mayo list. And it was that joke. That goes on the mayonnaise list.
Yeah, you're 100% right. That is mayo all the way, baby.
Actually, you know what? Because I kind of enjoyed the journey and I'm told it's all about the journey and not the destination. I'll put it on the medium. What did we say?
Thanks.
Hot, medium, and mayo? Yeah. Is that what we said?
Yeah, hot, medium, mayo.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll put it on the medium.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Sorry, man. That was a mental struggle for me.
It was a journey.
5 minutes, and it was killing me not to be able to think of Bayley's name. And then I forgot Cody's name for a second.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to turn this into a screenplay and give it to Christopher Nolan. He's going to make $1 billion on it. It's going to be his sequel to The Odyssey. The Odyssey 2, Doug can't come up with Bayley.
Yes, and it's going to be the odd ODD. Let's see, yeah.
But the good news is Matt Damon will probably play you. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, remember, Matt Damon, when you play me, make sure you get some basic batch Doich Foods at doichfoods.com and use the code Elite Heat
when you check out. Yes. Good job. Yeah, no, I mean, the Bayley thing is interesting. She's not going to be at All In because she's still under contract, but boy, she sure seems to be signaling, yeah, I'm coming. And I think that makes all the sense in the world because they don't really have anything left for her to do over there.
Nope.
So,
and I'm okay with that. Bring her in.
I am too. I'm a fan. I've been a fan of hers since the NXT days.
Yeah.
Bring her in. Let's do this. So
absolutely.
All right.
Well, I thought tonight was a banger show. Loved it.
I did too.
I know I put a lot of stuff in my mid category, in my mild category.
Mild.
Medium.
You're right. It was mild. It was hot, mild mayonnaise. Yes.
There we go. In the mild category, you know what? I really am liking our new category structure. I like that a lot.
I am too. I really like that.
But I liked most everything. There were very few things I did not like. And I thought this show was so good. And again, like we said at the top, I think they did a really good job of working in some of those secondary storylines and really doing the best they can with them to give us, we've got 18 days and you've given us a lot of opportunity for story to carry us through to that in just 18 days. So my hat is off to them. I thought they did a great job of that tonight. So yeah, great show tonight.
Totally agree. I think that they did a tremendous job of keeping the A story of the world title. They kept the heat going on that, but they did it in the opening segment, and then that was it, which I thought was really smart. They didn't force it into other segments of the show, and I think that they did a great job of heating up those secondary, tertiary storylines that you need to help carry you through a show like All In. I thought they did a great job heating those up. If you wanted to nitpick tonight, and I don't, but if you wanted to nitpick it, you could point out they didn't do anything with the tag team titles. We'll probably do something on Collision with that. But again, I'm going to say this again. If you can sell that match solely as it's the Young Bucks and Edge and Christian,
right?
Fine. Here's my money. I don't need anything else.
You don't need to put much more paint on that one. It's kind of ready to go. So
yeah,
I'm okay with them not really dealing with that tonight because we already know what we're going to get.
Yep.
The story is what it is, and you don't need a lot of story for it. And that's one of the few ones that I think you and I agree that, I don't even need them to even know it. Just put them in the ring. That's all we need.
I would have been perfectly happy if the Wednesday after Redemption, they had said, okay, the match is official. It's going to be these 4 guys at All In, and then those 4 guys just went home and rested up.
Yeah.
And we didn't see them again until All In. I don't need a story. I just need those 4 guys. Boom, done. Here's my money. But you got the trios titles, very interesting. The TBS title is fascinating, again, from a business perspective right now. If there's a time that you want to be hitting on all cylinders, like that you need to be, this is it, and they are doing it. So great job.
The Intercontinental, the International.
International.
not Intercontinental.
Dude, I've called it that. I'm with you. I understand.
But the international title, the TNT title, those two titles are, they're working on. They're really doing a good job. Like where we normally criticize them in not giving us enough story soon enough to get us to All In, I think they're doing a really good job of laying that groundwork and getting us ready to go. Because I think it's going to be a banger night of wrestling. It's going to be 18 hours, but it's going to be a banger night of wrestling at all.
Agreed. It's going to be great. I can't wait for it. Like I said, I'd be perfectly happy to fast forward those 18 days right now. So great job, everybody involved. We'll see what they put together for next week and hopefully keep this momentum rolling. I'm sure they will. And with that, like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Follow us at Elite Heat Pod across social media. Like I said, that's our handle on YouTube. If you don't watch us there, check it out. You can see Doug's cat's tail at the start of this, which is pretty fun.
Yes, that was great.
DoichFoods.com. Enter the promo code Elite Heat when you check out for your 20% off. That's DOICH, DoichFoods.com. And we will see you next week. Hopefully, just like my wife prefers all of her food mayonnaise free.